My mic isn't on. That's silly of me if my mic isn't on. Let's try that again, shall we? G'day crew, Zoe the Video Confidence Coach here, on today's weekly live stream. Unfortunately, the other past couple of weeks that we haven't been able to do a live stream because just haven't been well enough to do so, but now we are at a state where we are well enough. Do not follow me, light. I know what you're thinking, do not do it. It's threatening me, like it's slowly getting closer. So we'll see how that goes. I might have to readjust it a couple of times during this live stream, because despite the fact that I purchased it under a year ago, it's just falling forward, and it's scaring me that it's just going to keep falling. That'll be fun. All right, we'll figure that out when we figure that out. So I want to welcome everyone to the live stream, and I encourage you to comment, make sure you tag, make sure you share the live stream below if you know someone else that needs to hear this too. So today we're going to be discussing how to learn faster and remember more when you're preparing to do something for your business. And this is the strategy that I use. I've collected it through a variety of different sources for when I need to learn a new technique, or I need to learn to do something for my business at this stage. So say, for example, when it comes to aspects of marketing, I enjoy marketing because it's what I do in my business. But for you, you may not enjoy marketing so much, but you know it's something that you need to do for your business. So today we're going to talk about different things that you can do. As a small business owner, it's usually, what you have to do is that you have to wear many hats in your business to get to where you need to go. And as soon as you start growing, as soon as it starts working, then you can start hiring VAs, you can start hiring assistants, you can start hiring, regular contractors and all those type of people to help you on your journey with the work that you're doing. But in regards to where you are now for small business owners, or even for larger business owners yourself, when you know you just need to be able to learn something new and you need to learn it fast, efficiently, and remember how to do it in the future, that's what we're going to talk about today. So as I said, make sure that you comment below, invite anyone to the live stream, or even if you're on the hashtag Rewatch Squad, make sure you feel free to ask people to, share this around as well. So I ask you that you share this live stream on your platform of choice. We are currently streaming on Instagram. If the light doesn't keep falling, we're currently streaming on Facebook, and YouTube and Twitch. So what I'm going to be asking you guys today, in your first icebreaker question, and feel free to comment below, what is the one thing that you need to learn right now for your business to be able to take that next step? Now, and when I say next step, I don't mean, I need to be able to bring in 10 clients over the next week type of step. I'm talking about next step in regards to, I need to learn how to use this new invoicing system, or I need to learn how to use this new something system, or I need to learn how to follow up more with clients, or something relatively, it can be fairly easy to say, but not exactly easy to do. I am watching. I apologize for everyone who's currently on the Instagram stream right now. The camera, which is my phone, is oh god, it's just slowly falling down, and right now you're getting a very good view of my microphone and my chest, and that's about all you can see as it's slowly falling down. And for those on the live stream, you guys can probably see, but it's all the green screen's coming through and it's all looking weird because the light is falling down. So I'm going to fix that before we begin. So if you have any comments, feel free to let me know and I'll make sure that I actually read them before we get going. Oh god. Okay. So hopefully that means we're a little bit more bright, we're a little bit more lit, and the background's all nice and separated. So we're good to go until it falls again, which then we will live with it. Hi Natalie! Hope you're enjoying the show, and apologies for the faceplant that you were witnessing just before. The light, I don't know what I've done to it, but it doesn't seem to be holding its right position. But we're going to go and have a crack anyway. So before we begin, as per your request, we have changing backgrounds when we change from, different areas of what we're going to be discussing. And I've got a cool little like black background here with some lights that are just fading in and out, and it's not even moving. So we're going to just fix that maybe. Gotta love this. I go away for not away, but I haven't been anywhere, but I take a couple of weeks off and then everything stops to malfunction around me. No surprise there, but yeah. Okay. So we'll go through the 6 steps that I take to be able to learn a topic or learn a theme or learn something that I need to know for my business. We'll take the 6 steps that I take to be able to learn something faster and remember more of it when it's time to actually use it in my business. So if you guys are ready to go, make sure you comment below that you're ready to go. We're going to use the energy of the community to That is my energy, and that is me getting ready face. And I hope you guys are too. And I want to thank you all for the love and support you guys have been emailing me, messaging, DMing me, making sure that I'm okay, because it's just in regards to business. Sometimes you can just get a bit overwhelmed, sometimes you can get a bit stressed and a bit tired, and over the past couple of weeks that has definitely been me. I'm not entirely sure what it's a result of. It's a combination of things, as it always is. But over the past few weeks, I just haven't had the energy to do these live streams for you. And it has actually made me feel really guilty because I haven't been able to do these for you when it's just stuff that I know and it should be easy. But I just didn't have the energy to, and I would go to bed and fall asleep and then not wake up until midday the next day. So, but we're here now. So if you guys are ready to go, we'll get started on step 1, and then around about step 3, we'll have a little bit of a break. I'm going to get some water and I'll show you guys the workshops that we have coming up. We have a little bit less for this month because last month we had about 4, 5, 6 workshops that we had going on, and now we only have 3 workshops this month, which is quite relaxed when you think about it, when you're talking to me, but we can figure that out as we go along. So as I said, make sure that you comment below, and any questions throughout the live stream, make sure that you let me know, either via DM or via comment. All right, you guys ready? Ready. Let's get in the middle of the screen, shall we? Okay. Step 1, focus on a high impact skill and use SMART goals. So what I mean by that? So what I mean by when you've got a predicament that you need to learn something fast and you need to learn it now, and you need to be able to remember as much as you can of the process to be able to teach it to yourself, your VA, or one of your staff, to be able to remember how to do the certain steps to be able to achieve the certain outcome, or to be able to utilize either the platform that you're trying to learn how to use and be able to actually do what you're actually planning to do with it, or just different aspects of what you're trying to learn. What you first need to figure out the high impact skill that you need to focus on to be able to achieve that goal. So say, for example, if you want to be able to learn how to do Facebook ads for your business, let's just say that out there. I want to be able to learn how to do Facebook ads for my business. Well, it's not just as simple as, all right, I'm going to do Facebook ads. Let's screw around in the back end of the ads manager type thing. It's not really that obvious, and it's not exactly that clear. So say, for example, if you need to learn a high impact skill, first of all, you need to be able to break it down into the parts that you need to be able to do to achieve that goal. So in the sense of, okay, if I want to be able to learn how to do Facebook ads, well, it makes sense for me to learn how to navigate the Facebook Ads Manager, to be able to create compelling content, be it video, be it images, whatever you need to create. So that's number 2. And number 3 would be breaking it down and, being able to learn how to, market effectively, or to be able to use the data that I have to be able to do it again. So that's 3 things. So that's breaking down this general goal of I need to do Facebook ads for my business, breaking it down into 3 things that are in themselves quite large and quite overbearing for someone who's just starting out, which is usually why people hire, marketers, people hire marketing agencies, social media managers, all these type of people. That's why these people are hired is because they know what they're doing and they put in the effort to learn their craft. And for you and your business, that may not be what you want to do. So the first thing that I always do is to focus on the high impact skill and assess whether or not it makes sense for me to do it. And as I've mentioned in a couple of live streams, for some things for some things that you do in your business, it makes sense for you to be able to hand it over to someone else. Now, of course, you as the business owner most of the time don't have that luxury, and that's okay. That's why you follow on with the rest of these progression and these steps as we go along. But if you have the ability to hire someone for one-off contracts, or a contractor that you can hire per project basis to get the work done, and if you can, wrangle one, say for example, that's nice enough to actually teach you or document their progress throughout, not that they in the sense of, are going to teach you from the ground up type thing. But say, for example, there's a lot of clients that I work with that, ask me, say, for example, they hire me first off to create their YouTube channel and to be able to create the first series or the first 5, 8, 10 videos for their YouTube channel, and subsequently their website and social media and all of the stuff that comes with that. But they want to be able to learn how it works too, for if they need to change something, if they need to adapt something. And what I do as part of my progress, without charging extra, I always make sure to document what I'm doing. So say, for example, I create a tutorial for them and I go through, like, say, g'day Frank, this is how you navigate your YouTube area. I go through all the steps and when they need to do, and I go through very clear FAQs. So say, for example, they say, I want to know how to edit a description in a video. Cool. We go through those steps, and all I have to do that is by simply, putting on my screen recording software, usually the one with my little face in the middle using my webcam, and then they can see that I'm genuine and I'm also providing that value. Even though he may not ever use the knowledge I am giving him, it's still there for when he needs it. And say, for example, as a small business owner, you may not be able to want or have the need to be able to do every single job in your business. But if you've got the knowledge to be able to do that in the future, if need be, or if you want something changed and have the ability to, you're able to either A, hand it off to one of your employees to do it for you with the process and just being like, hey, here's the job that I need to do. Feel free to check out the process, Zoe sent a while ago. There you go. It's done. It's delegated. It's good. And for other small, maybe solo entrepreneurs, it's a job that, say, for example, you want to do, you want to be able to have that knowledge and have that control. You've got the option there to be able to review that tutorial and watch how the progress goes. So I'm not saying that you guys would be doing exactly this for your business, but say, for example, if there's something where you know the knowledge that you won't be able to pay the contractor, the social media marketer, however much, that you won't be able to pay them for years upon years, or even months upon months, or weeks upon weeks. All you need to do is simply ask them or negotiate with them, hey, if you do this process for me, of course they'll give you back a quote, and all you need to do is just say, hey, do you mind giving me a quick tutorial on the areas that I need to focus on, so then I'm not going to screw this up by the time I hire you again. And they're going to be more likely to do that, because of course they are. They want to be able to do whatever they can for you so you can hire them again. Okay, I am keeping an eye on you. I am not liking you. Apologies. Light's gone again. All right, what is the point? I paid a lot of money for you. Please stop falling forward. Please, for the love of God, please. I'm just asking you to please stop whatever you're doing. All I'm asking you is to not fall forward. Please. As you can tell, I might be getting slightly bit angry with my ring light that I paid a lot of money for, and it just keeps falling forward. So for the time being, we are just going to turn that boy up, and I'm just going to deal with the repercussions. Live stream's going well today, isn't it? Ugh. All right, let's try that, shall we? Okay. Apologies for you guys on Instagram Live. I know I've been chucking you around and throwing you around a bit, but unfortunately today is not the day for these lovely things to work for me. That's all right. We'll keep going. Okay. So again, still in step 1, focusing on the impact skill. So what I want to talk to you guys today about is, and I'm going to go to the screen share, is we're going to be talking about SMART goals. So S.M.A.R.T, SMART goals. I had a bit of that Homer Simpson running in my mind just then. And you'll see on screen that it's broken down into specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So what this is before you even start doing something, doing a little bit of research on what you're actually trying to achieve is quite useful. And also you have the idea that you can, go to people or go to your clients, go to your, employees in the future to be able to say, all right, this is what we need to achieve, breaking it down. Here's a little research I've conducted, or here's people I've talked to. Use your network, like we highly recommend, that you use your network to figure out what's actually involved and then break it down from there. So whenever we start a project, whenever we start a course of, hey, I need to learn how to do that specific task, we do the following. And come on, I just need you to look pretty for once. So this is what we do every time. We specifically think about what exactly that we will do or want to accomplish. So throughout this entire process of learning to do this task or this skill, as we just did just before, we broke it down into 3 things that we needed to do to achieve, how to run Facebook ads. Okay, well, I'm going to focus on navigating the Facebook Ads Manager. That is a specific goal. It's using action words in regards to, I'm going to learn how to navigate the Facebook Manager. I want to be able to learn how to achieve different things. And in the radius of that particular goal, of course, we'll be covering aspects of what do the analytics mean, where do I find these certain things, and where do I go if I need help. And then looking into measurable, providing a way that you actually evaluate it. So when you go back after you've done the learning or after you've completed the project, you're able to actually go back and figure out, hey, did I do good? Did I do bad? What do I need to improve on for next time? Do I just need to hand this over to a professional? What are we talking here? So if you're able to measure it, especially when it comes to either hours put in, numbers that you're able to get with your Facebook ads, for example, or any numbers that you can put towards a goal, especially ones that are meaningful, are going to be more recommended in this case, or in any case for that matter, actually. When you're actually doing something measurable, you need to be able to have numbers or something that you can attach to the project to be like, hey, I have achieved my goal, and this is how far I got. That type of thing. And as it says there, using metrics and data targets to be able to break down what you're actually wanting to achieve. So again, doing a little bit of that cursory research of what you actually want to achieve. And like I said, using your networks to be able to see, okay, for the thing that I want to achieve, and talking to my marketing friend, they recommend a good, $5 a day investment into Facebook ads. I should be able to at least get 1 lead over 2 weeks. For example, that's just putting in a bunch of numbers and that's putting in a bunch of things. Yours will be different, of course, because every business is different. But I just want you to be able to put some numbers on it ahead of time to be able to look back once you've done the learning and once you've done the project to be able to evaluate if you've done a good job or not. So moving on to A, you'll be looking at achievable. Is this thing that I'm wanting to achieve achievable? Like, is it like I want to be able to become a Facebook must, a Facebook, ads master within the next 2 weeks? Me think that's not going to be something that's going to be achievable for you, especially if you're going to be running your own business. You're going to be trying to cater to your clients. You're going to be working on other new things, corralling your staff, all the other things that come to in the business as well. Is it achievable? And if it's not currently achievable in its current form, then to be able to scale back. Well, say for example, again, going back to the Facebook Ads Manager example, well, okay, maybe I don't have time to be able to become the whiz kid of everything to do with Facebook Ads Manager, but I can sit down to a half-an-hour tutorial, probably sped up a little bit, at least for my sake, and be able to just sit down for an uninterrupted 30 minutes and just watch how the Ads Manager works. And depending on your style of learning, be it visual, audio, kinesthetic, or a combination of one of the previous 3, I want to be able to learn how I prefer to learn. So say, for example, I'm a visual and a kinesthetic learner. So if I want to be able to sit down for that half an hour, I'm going to make sure that I have the video on one side of my screen and the ads manager on the other side of my screen, or to be able to flick quickly and easily between the two screens. So if I see something in the video, I want to be able to click it and replicate it on my screen so I can then learn better and retain more information because I am actually doing it as well as just visually watching the video of the particular job. So is it achievable within your scope? Yes, I have half an hour for this particular step. And then, or is that going to be your goal? Good to know. And then making sure that it's actually possible to accomplish and attainable in whatever time frame you come with, and we'll get to T at the end. Is it actually obtainable for you and your business? And then moving on, we have relevant. So does it make sense within the function of your job? But for us, it would be, does it make sense for what I'm actually overall trying to achieve in regards to the overall goal? Well, my overall goal is to learn how to use Ads Manager. Okay. Well, breaking it down. So starting off with that, I want to learn how to use Facebook ads. Okay, breaking it down into those 3 that we just discussed. Okay, so I want to go then back down into ads, learning how to navigate Ads Manager. It makes sense for me to learn this because if I want to learn how to use Facebook ads, I need to be able to use the back end to be able to achieve that. So that makes sense. And will it improve your business in some way? Yes, it'll bring in more verified leads, for example. And make sure you think about it long term, more than just I'm going to be able to put an ad out in 2 days or something. Think about long term of what you're actually learning to be able to put out that far in advance. So in 2 months, will what you're learning now make sense? Or was it just something that you wasted your time in? So think about it in those respects. So is it relevant to you? And then moving on to T, we've got time bound. So state when actually you'll get it done. So as I mentioned before with the achievable and making it I'm going to become a Facebook master in 2 weeks. So is it actually attainable in the time that you're actually going to give yourself to do it? So say, for example, in the next 2 weeks, I want to be able to get my first Facebook ad up. That actually seems quite achievable. Of course, there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to learn about your audience and your business and your industry and all these other things, but at least you're giving yourself that time-bound area that I need to get something up there and be running by under 2 weeks. Cool, good. You get yourself a good time to start with. And then be specific with a date, be specific with a date or time frame, especially when you're working within your business and you want to be able to achieve goals. You need to be able to set yourself a time or a date to be able to follow up and be like, okay, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to set aside half an hour in the evening after the kids have gone to bed to be able to research this particular product. This is what I want to achieve. Cool, done, good. So for those specific SMART goals, that's what I use every time that I'm thinking of starting a new project, when I'm thinking of starting a new thing that I want to learn to be able to input into my business. I break it down into those S.M.A.R.T goal orientations, I think is a technical term, and figuring out from there, okay, is this something that I can achieve? Now, of course, like all good goals, they are shifting goalposts. Say, for example, if you learn a lot about how to navigate Facebook Manager, but you learn that you know absolutely nothing about maybe your customer avatar, for example, going through the process, well, that's not exactly within your purview of what you're trying to do to achieve the goal, but it's extra work and extra time. Okay, maybe move the goalpost instead of 2 weeks, maybe move it to 3 weeks, and then focus on a little bit more of my customer avatar. Figuring that out and being able to be flexible to those moves is going to help you, especially in the long run. So, we're already half an hour and we're only on step 1. That'll be fun. Okay. All right. So, step 2. Time to seize the day and actually schedule in a time to get it done. G'day. So, what I mean... All right, let me do that again because I stuffed up a fair few times on that one. Okay. Step 2, seize the day. Time to take action and schedule in what you're planning to do. So what I mean by this is step 2 is after I have gone through all the assessment of figuring out what I actually want to accomplish and going through the S.M.A.R.T goals, I actually schedule it into my diary, into my calendar. And for those who do not work on a calendar, I highly recommend adapting your style or adapting your way of organizing yourself into a calendar. Say, for example, I use a Google Calendar, I put it out there and I have it on a nice big screen that I have whenever I go into the office, and it just has my time, like these are the times that I'm working for, and then I put in that registered, okay, I'm going to work on this particular aspect for half an hour each day at the same time every day. So I actually schedule it in, and I'm actually going to make sure that I do it, and if I do not do it, then I find another time to make up for that. Because the reason being, you will not do something unless you make it part of your time, or you make it a habit, or make it part of your routine. You're not going to achieve your goal if you don't actually set aside time for it. And using that same terminology, that if you're scheduling that time in to be able to achieve that goal, or to be able to learn faster and remember more, well, in that case, you'll be able to track how much time, or be able to track what you achieve within that time, so that you can look for in a later date to look back on and see what you can improve on and what you can do more in your business. So making sure that you actually schedule those in. And if you need an accountability partner, so an accountability partner is someone that you can use to be able to, tell them your plans, tell them your goals, and they will, check in with you, and probably vice versa. You will do the same for their goals. You'll check in with them. So if they haven't done the job, of course, you wouldn't punish them per se, but it would be a case of you would actually, express concern. You would make sure that, okay, you didn't achieve your goal. Okay, why was that? All right, how do we move on from here? Because as an accountability partner, now a lot of business owners have said to me that accountability partners and accountability works like that can be quite difficult to work with, because it's not that you don't exactly know what's going on. It's just a case of, trying to think. So it's not that a case of the accountability partnership didn't work out. It was just a case of it wasn't exactly a priority for either people to have that accountability, and in turn, thank you, Joel, and in turn hasn't worked out for either of you. And that's the case, and that's fine. But just be able to work with someone, find someone who's at that same level as you, and then work together to be able to just say, hey, can you check in with me every Friday, see how we're going, and offer any encouragement if I need it. Thank you, Catherine. Now, okay. Step 3. Step 3, focusing on mastery instead of consumption. So when we do this is making sure that you actually focus on 1 to 2 subjects at a time when you're learning. So as I said, as we did all the way at the back of the start of this video, is I was talking about breaking the idea of learn how to use Facebook managers for my business, breaking it down into those 3 sections. If I remember my own memory, breaking it down to navigating the Facebook ads manager, how to create compelling ads, be them video or not, recommend video, but and then the third one was customer demographics. I'll have fun figuring that out later and putting on screen at some point. But moving back, we've been able to break down what you actually want to achieve into those 2, 3, 4 subjects, and to be able to figure out, okay, I need to be able to master them, and not just the sake of consuming everything revolving around that subject. It's good to, research your competition. It's good to check out webinars and all these things that people are putting out there. But it's no use if you're consuming the information, writing it down, but then doing nothing with it. So what I mean by that is to be able to master something, you need to be able to work on it. I think it's like 10,000 hours. You don't need to do that for this particular thing that you want to learn, but to be able to keep it into your mind, you need to be able to figure out a way, and we'll talk about in the next step, of being able to put it into a system that you can utilize, and you'll be able to actually go back to when you want to remember stuff, when you want to remind yourself how to do something. You can always go back to that previous system. But for this step 3, you want to make sure that you actually work on mastering. So again, using that time, making that SMART goal quite clear, putting it somewhere prominent, and making sure that you actually schedule in that time to sit down and be like, okay, so for the next 3 days, I'm just going to learn how to navigate Facebook Ads Manager. Cool. So in that case, for that half an hour each day, you will find videos on how to use it and make sure that you give yourself enough time to be able to navigate how to use the back end of the Facebook Ads Manager. That's mastering it because you're learning how to actually visually identify where all the aspects are. And you have said that I'm going to learn how to do this efficiently. So therefore I'm going to master the task instead of just consuming all the information about it and not actually doing anything with it. So I want to thank you all for your encouragement, and thank you for and thank you for dealing with the situation over there. Like I said, I apologize for you guys in the back. You're a bit askew right now, but that's because I can only get the light in a certain way. But now we break in tonight's programming for a word from my sponsor, which is me. Okay, whoops. Probably shouldn't have shown you that one. So, quickly discuss the workshops that we have coming up, and then we'll go back to step 4, 5, and 6. So, what we have coming up, not next week, next week. So, next week we have the video on Facebook workshop, where we'll be discussing all aspects of video on the Facebook platform. So if you're interested in learning about Facebook ads, Facebook Live, newsfeed videos, all the ins and outs that have to do with Facebook, then I highly recommend that you come to the workshop. That'll be at the S.M.A.R.T Village, Geelong. And this is part of a series that we're running for the NAB. So last month we did video on Instagram, where we touched on everything to do with Instagram. And this month we'll touch on Facebook. Next will be YouTube, as it is the video and second biggest search engine in the world. And then after that, depending on the request, will be LinkedIn. And depending on what you guys want and how you feel, if not, that's okay. We won't run it. But for this one, we will be running video on Facebook next week, Wednesday, 19th at 12 p.m. And as I do all my workshops, I will be putting eventually into online courses for you guys to consume. But of course, I need time to do that and money to do that. So in the meantime, we'll keep moving. So if you are interested in podcasting for you and your business, I highly recommend you check out Start My Podcast workshop and recording session at Creative Geelong that is run by yours truly on the last Monday of every month. So as you can probably guess, most of my workshop titles are quite self-explanatory. So this one is where you actually start your podcast. You go through a booklet and you work through all the aspects and actually how to start your podcast, making sure that you have the right foundation. So and you actually walk out, and a lot of people have been surprised by this, you walk out with a USB file with a file on your USB, or we send it to you later on, of your trailer. So this is the 30-second to 2-minute trailer that you put as your first episode of your podcast. And there you go straight out there into the world, and you can start using podcasts for your business or for your hobby. And we do that to encourage people to use podcasting as a platform for marketing. It's relatively untouched, even though there are a lot of podcasts out there. You'll be surprised that not all the niches are being fulfilled, and there's a lot of communities out there that need to be informed, or they need to be understood and have something to surround themselves around. Like, probably wouldn't recommend true crime because there's a fair chunk of that out there, but that's always fun to listen to and talk to. So if you're interested in starting a podcast, highly recommend checking out that workshop. Oh, and we also have the Geelong Podcasters Geelong Podcasters Facebook group. So if you're not sure about if you want to start a podcast or not, feel free to check out the community, where there'll be a lot of other people who have started podcasts or who are about to start a podcast. And it's a great community to give feedback, get ideas, and I just highly recommend that you join. Speaking of Geelong Podcasters, we have every quarter in the year, so that's 4 times a year, we have these Geelong Podcasters meetups, where we meet up in the Glasshouse Atrium in Creative Geelong, just over there, where we meet up and we discuss everything that we do online, but in real life. So if you do live in Geelong, if you do live or work in Geelong and you're interested in starting a podcast, highly recommend that you check out the group on Facebook, or feel free to just register to join to our event where you'll get to catch up with other podcasters and be there to also record our Geelong Podcasters podcast episode. Yeah. Okay, so... Right, we're going to move back on. I think we are. Beautiful. And let me get a drink, because today has been muggy as muggy as muggy. Ooh, it has been muggy. It's been super, hot all the damn time. And I've been sweating my face out for, months. So it's been a fun day for that. But we'll carry on to steps 4. Okay. You ready? I'm ready. I don't exactly know what it's doing there. That's all right. So, okay. Step 4. As you're, taking on and mastering your subjects, make sure that you use active listening and... Thank you. As you are taking notes and using active listening, I'll get to that in a touch. You make sure that you put it into a system that you can categorize and look back later when you need to. So let's touch off with active listening first. Make sure that I have that up on screen for you guys. So active listening, and unfortunately my head is in the corner cutting off that end bit, but I'll make it nice and clear for you guys. So active listening is more than just listening to someone speak. You're actually doing something with that information. So as I'm breaking it down on screen, you'll be able to see you're actually paying attention, you're listening to what is being said and breaking it down. You don't hold any judgment. So what I mean by that, usually active listening is thought about in, say, classrooms for primary school and high school, but I personally use active listening throughout all of my client interactions, whenever I'm listening to someone speak in front of me at networking events or, talks that I go, or seminars that I go to on a regular basis. I make sure that I'm actually sitting there paying attention to the words or what's being presented in front of me, that I withhold any judgment that I have about the knowledge, about where the information is coming from. The best way to put it is you're not withholding judgment in regards to if they say, it rains cats and dogs in Italy. You could probably judge that, but in regards to judgment, what I'm saying is don't judge someone by the way they look just because they do not fit your standards of attractiveness or beauty. I've had a few people message me about that recently. I'm like, yeah, you don't have to look at me. No one's forcing you to look at me. Deal with it. I can do what I want with my lips, thank you very much. So when I say withhold judgment, don't assume that they don't know anything just because they don't dress to your specific standards of taste. Make sure that you're actually listening to what they have to say as opposed to withholding any judgments of how they looked or how they act in particularly. Making sure that you're actually reflecting on the knowledge that you are putting down into your system, and the knowledge and the notes that you're taking down, you reflect on what you've written, not just taking it, writing it and putting it out away in a drawer somewhere. And making sure that if you have questions, making sure that you get clarification. Google is out there. You're able to, press a button, type what you need to know, and find the answers there. They're not always the most reliable answers, but it is clarification nonetheless. And if you're there going to, say, a workshop or a seminar and you're able to ask questions, ask those questions. And then underneath my face, so about here, you'll be able to summarize what is being said, and you'll be able to share that information. So the reason I went through those two rather quickly is the system that I personally use is I write down notes in my book, in my notepads, because that is the most efficient way for us to actually retain information and learn. Writing down on paper, not typing, but actually just writing it down. And then from that information, I reflect on the information I've taken down, so I read through it all. And then I summarize that information and put it into a Notion. So Notion is very similar to, say, Trello or Asana, but it's more like an Excel or internal almost like website looking thing. And it's taken me a little while to get used to how to use the platform, but personally I almost use it every single day to be able to categorize the information that I'm learning and to be able to put it into something that I can actively use, because I can, summarize everything that I've written down and put it into the Notion. I can take photos and then put that in there as well. But the idea being that I can actually use the search functions, very much like when you search something on, say, a G Sheet, or when you're searching something on Google, you can quickly type it in and find the piece of information that you exactly need to find. Yep. That you exactly need to find. And what I do then is, so if I need to be able to do something for specifics, or if there's some pieces of information that I remember and someone said, oh, I need to learn about this particular thing, I'm like, cool, go into my Notion, quickly search it out, find the page, cool, send it out to you, Bob's your uncle, there you go. So I'm able to actually share that information with other people, but you're also able to share it with myself for when I need that information in the future to be able to master the task that I want to do to achieve my goal. How are we feeling about the system so far? Making sure that you comment below any questions or any ideas that you have, because we're going to move on to steps 5 and step 6 in the last 15 minutes of this live stream. So like I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I have noticed in myself that as my go-to line when I do live streams is making sure that you comment and do this. Like, you guys know that. You guys know that you need that if you have a question, you comment and I'll respond. Like, you know that. So, thanks, James. And thanks, Maxine. It was great to see you today, Maxine. Okay, so let's move on to step 5. Okay. Step 5. Let me look my thing. Step 5. Take action. Learn by doing. So everything that we've built upon so far, all the previous 4 steps and beyond, is actually time to take action from what you've learnt and put it into something. So say, for example, there's a reason why when you were at school, you weren't just told to sit there, write stuff down, and that was it. With the information that you collected, you were either putting it into, say, a poster, a diorama, a play, God forbid. No, don't worry, I just saw a lot of plays when I was younger. You actually put it into something useful for yourself or for your business. So say, for example, in regards to business terms, you'd be putting your information into a flow sheet, into a structure, into a process for yourself and for your business. Something that summarizes the tasks that you need to do, but also reminds yourself and your team, even your future team as well, to be able to how to achieve these certain things. And you've created into this nice little document. You can make it in Canva if you like, make it look really pretty, go really artistic with it. Just something that you can create that is going to be helpful for you, but you're actually actioning the steps that you learn. And thank you for that, Emma. To be able to actually do something with that knowledge that you have. So you've taken action to, take that steps to master the things that you want to learn. Make sure you're actually doing something with that knowledge. And feel free to comment below any creative ways that you can think of, say, for example, putting it into a poster on the wall, or focus, please, small focus. Thank you. Or maybe putting it into a tutorial that you give to yourself or your clients. Whatever you need to. Say, for example, that's the method I usually use a lot. If there's something that I need to learn for myself, or I need to remember how to do more efficiently, I go through all these steps, create a tutorial, put it up online for you guys, and there you go. You've got what you needed to learn. And making sure that you put it in a way that's actually useful for you. So say, for example, if you are not the visual type, like you're not really a visual or creative person in that sense, well then don't, put it all in Canva into a nice poster for, yourself on the wall. Maybe just putting it into an Excel spreadsheet with some steps and some links maybe makes more sense to you. Whatever works, make sure you action what you're actually learning and take those steps to achieve your SMART goals. Whew, that was actually quite a quick step, that one. All right, and now step 6, time to teach. So what teaching does, it actually boosts your comprehension on that specific subject and actually improves your memory retention when you're actually trying to remember back on how to do this certain task, certain goal, or certain things that you're trying to achieve. There's a reason why experts are experts. It's because they go back to that knowledge again and again and again and again and again and again and again because they teach it to other people. Say, for example, this is what I'm doing right here in front of you. I'm here right in front of you, teaching you what I know to be able to better your lives and to better mine, because I am remembering all the stuff that I do through my process. It's now become second nature to me by this point. There's kind of like SMART goals and all this other stuff that I've talked to you about in today. I've kind of gone back to it realizing, oh yeah, not everyone does this. Some people just kind of go, all right, I need to achieve that goal. Okay. Or like, focus again. Or like, ooh, there's something shiny. I must go and get that. Yeah. So when you're thinking about taking something on with your business for yourself or something that you need to learn and to be able to become efficient at, why not use this 6-step system? So 6 steps that we've gone through today to make it nice and easy and break down your process. And as I said, and I mentioned at the start of this live stream, that goalposts change. If your goal doesn't fit where you are now or where you want to be in 2 weeks, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 2 decades, if it's not going to suit you, then move those goals to where they need to be. You are the one in control. You are the one learning this to remember more. You are the one who is learning as fast as you can to be able to implement it into your business as soon as you possibly can. So as you are doing that, make sure that you actually want to and actively want to achieve the goal that you set out. And if you don't want to anymore, that's fine. Figure out why that is. Maybe give yourself a couple of notes, close that chapter, open another one. Bob's your uncle. Here you go again, using the same 6 steps that we just discussed. But as long as you know where you want to go and where you eventually want to achieve, so say, for example, with myself, our main goal for 2020 is to focus on LinkedIn and improving our referrals and leads through LinkedIn. So what I've done is I've broken it down to a few things of what I want to achieve. And recently, last Friday, I went to a LinkedIn Leads event where I met up with a whole bunch of other people who I'll be getting back to tomorrow, who I met at the LinkedIn Lead event and talking about different things. And we learned a lot of stuff from Yannick, who was our presenter for the day. But taking the knowledge that he had given me, I'm going to implement that into my business. So at the moment with this particular step in this project, I'm probably at around about a stage 4, where I've taken the notes, I've taken the time to master what I actually need to do. And now that I'm going to put it into action for me to be able to follow up on those particular projects or needs. But my ultimate goal for the year was to be able to get... to be able to get 5 qualified leads through LinkedIn by the end of the year on a monthly basis. So that is my goal by the end of the year, 5 leads a month through LinkedIn. So in that case, I need to be able to create my supporting, making sure that my profile and that my company profile works seamlessly. And to do this, what I learnt from Friday was to make sure that I have my custom avatars nice and lined up and nice and clear. And when I'm focusing on a particular niche or a particular group, that the people that I'm focusing on, that I cater everything on my profile to them. LinkedIn is no longer a resume. LinkedIn is for business people to be able to promote themselves and to be able to link in with other like-minded people. And I've talked to a lot of people today I went to an event this morning as well, but LinkedIn is no longer just a place to put your resume. LinkedIn was where Facebook was 10 years ago. So in the sense of the community is very lively and checks in almost every day. There are a couple of things that are a bit hit and misses about the platform in particular because there's a couple of things wrong with it, but it's no longer just about having your resume out there so people can find you online and figure out, oh, you did these things. It's about marketing yourself as that expert and as that position of authority to fix people's problems or to guide them through whatever things they need to be able to do. And I'm going to be doing that through my LinkedIn page and pushing people towards that, and creating videos around that particular topic. I'm not saying that I'm going to become a LinkedIn guru as in that respect. I haven't even dealt with the live stream applications. I'll annoy you guys about that later. Applying every single week for LinkedIn to let me go on LinkedIn Live and nothing. And I'm barely seeing it on the platform anymore anyway. But say, for example, that has been my goal this year, and that's why I've broken it down and being able to break it into sizable chunks of what I actually need to achieve. Okay, to be able to get leads, I need to be able to make sure that the place I'm sending them looks great, making sure that the leads that I'm getting actually make sense and the people that I actually want to cater to, and making sure that I'm using the right wording. So say, for example, my next step after I've put everything into practice as I'm currently going about it is to talk to a copywriter. Because I'm really good at these whole words things, as you may have guessed. I'm really good at the words. No, I'm not. I am not very good at the words. But I want to thank you all so much for enjoying today's live stream, making sure that if you have missed anything from today, once we finish going live, you can always go back to the start and look through everything to do with SMART goals. But hopefully after today, you've gotten the knowledge that you need to take action to make anything happen in your business. I know it's something that you probably already know, but it's always good just to go back and be like, oh yeah, that's how it works. And it's kind of nice to have that reminder. My challenge for you is for you to be able to teach a simple skill that you already know for your business, that you might do every single day for your business, but something that your customers would find helpful in your 30-second video. So that's going to be my challenge for you today, is to be able to use that skills from today's live stream and to be able to have a 30-second video where you just tell people your skill and then post it up online and see what type of interactions you'll get from that. Because you'll be surprised that not everything that you know, your customers know. Not everything that you have spent years upon years becoming an expert and authority in, do your customers know about it. There's a reason why you're the authority and the expert, and they are not. So that's what my challenge is for you. 30 seconds, teaching people a simple skill. It could be to doing anything to do with, say, a platform, or maybe something that they would do every day, or something that's very connected to your industry and your business. Feel free to give that a shot. And if you would like, make sure you tag me or send me a link, and I'll make sure to share it everywhere. Share the love. And money also too, but I won't be giving you money, but I'll be sharing love and attention and affection. All right, it's getting a bit too late for me, guys. So I'm going to finish up today's live stream. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. So I'm going to leave you guys today. Thank you so much for dealing with my light troubles. And hopefully in the upcoming live streams in the following weeks is going to look a lot prettier, and it's going to look a lot less like the lights falling over every fucking second. Okay, I swore that was bad of me, but that's all right. I will edit that later so you guys don't hear it. So we'll leave you guys there. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next week for next week's live stream, which will be talking about experimental marketing. We'll be talking about experiential marketing. Yes, the thing that I've been trying to do for the past 2 weeks, we're going to do that next week. So I've got this one already done and already dusted. We've done a really good live stream today, despite the hiccups, looking at you. But now I've been able to get through it. I am still a little bit winded and a bit tired, but I'm here and I've done this, and I've been able to deliver this live stream for you. So in that case, I'll be able to do it again next week for when we're going to be focusing on experiential marketing. All right. Bye, guys.